to Creative Moments by G. I'm Georgia, and I'm so happy to be here today. We are all about butterflies today. We are making a terrific card along with some note cards using Beauty Abounds. And we are so happy and hopeful that you will join us today. Our posting schedule is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday we have a video. We go live on Wednesday on YouTube. And Friday, of course, we have our Facebook Friday. Remember, today we have a drawing, right? We will get to our drawing about halfway through our time with you today. So we're really excited about that. And we appreciate all the comments over on YouTube as well as the comments on Facebook. And guess what? If you're watching the rebroadcast, go ahead and make comments on YouTube as well, because we love to read your comments. They mean so much to us. So, you know, I always like to get started with the saying. So let's head down to the crafting table and let's take a look at those sayings, right? Here we go. Be the flawed, quirky, unique, beautiful, and magical person that you are. Look at that. I thought we need some butterfly sayings because we're all about butterflies today, right? Let me show you a card that we put together using the Beauty Abounds. Here is the card. Isn't that beautiful? We had some layers on the front. We put for you. And then life is so good with a friend like you. Don't you love that font? Oh my goodness, I love it. And that font comes from, I'm looking here, it comes from Friend Like You. So let me show you the actual stamp sets that we're going to use today. We're using Beauty Abounds, and I want to go over this just a little bit before we get started. We are using the Butterfly Gala, of course, for our butterflies, right? We are also going to use Music from the Heart. We're using that Just a Note. And then we're using that beautiful stamp, Life is So Good with a Friend Like You. So there you go. Those are the stamp sets we're going to be using. I have got to show you just a little bit before we get started with this card how cute these stamps are. I want to show you the bubble stamps. I'm going to go ahead and just use a piece of paper so I don't get my table messy. Now look at this. You're going to think this is so cute. Look how this stamps. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? Now let's look at a green. I tell you, I'm crazy about these bubbles. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Look at that. Second generation. Oh, don't you love these bubbles? Now let me show you something else. This has that little splatter. Look at that. Look at that. It just gives you a little bit of definition. Now let me bring that closer so you can see. Don't you love those bubbles? Oh my goodness. Well, that's going to be part of our card today, and I just wanted to share that with you. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to close these up because I have a tendency to stamp with the wrong color ink, and we don't want to do that. So the first thing you need to do is go ahead and cut your card. That's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and we need a couple mats. We need a mat, of course, that's a little smaller. So that's 4 by 5 1/4, and then you're going to size it down one more. And remember, all the dimensions will be listed below on YouTube. So when you go over and check our YouTube video later today, you'll be able to find those dimensions. And then, of course, we need a mat for the inside so that they can write. Let's go ahead and get our inside laid down because, you know, I like to always get the inside laid down first, and that way we don't have to worry about it. So we're going to go ahead and lay this one down, and I am going to get this one, let's see, I'm going to get this one cut, make sure it is just exactly right. Let me show you how we're going to stamp this. we are going to use this beautiful floral arrangement. And we are going to use the Memento Black, and I have it right here, and just get it. I like to take, a lot of times when something is this detailed, take the actual ink pad to the stamp instead of the other way. And we are going to put the little curlies at the top. So we're going to stamp it just like that and hold it for good contact. Oh, look at that. We need to do it one more time. Now these are going to cross over each other, but you don't have to worry about that because we're going to have a butterfly right there. So it won't matter. Hold it for good contact. Now look at that. Isn't that lovely? Those flowers are so pretty. Now we're also going to stamp a little bit right here, and we are going to stamp that off. I'm going to bring my ink pad up just a little bit and get that stamp so we don't have to worry about it, because we will be doing some coloring with our blends. Now I'm going to move that to the side, and I'm going to bring in our blends. Now I'm going to use two different colors. I am using the Dark Highland Heather and the Light Rococo Rose. So I'm just going to go in and I am going to just color, go around the flowers, and I'm using the broad tip so that I can cover more of the flower at once, right? Now you really don't have to do any shading on this. You can shade the leaves a little bit, but these flowers are so small that you really don't have room to do much shading unless you use a much lighter color. Now we're going to go ahead and take our card, and we're going to use our silicone mat, and I'm going to use our Kalel glue. We like to use Kalel because it moves around very easily, and you know, when you're putting down your mats and your layers, just in case it's not exactly where you want it, we want to be able to wiggle it around, right? So here we have it right there. We're going to get this one. Now, we may go ahead and stamp our saying right here, right? We need to stamp for you. And so I am going to take some dark Blackberry Bliss, and I'm just going to stamp that so that we already have it. I want to make sure, okay, make sure it's good and inked up. Let's just make sure. Okay. And it's such a pretty font. So we are just going to do it just like that. And we're going to hold it for good contact. And you know, we're using Whisper White. We love the way the inks sit on top of this Whisper White. And look at that. Just a beautiful little for you. It's for you. Now we're going to go ahead and glue this down. Now look at that. That is good quality paper and blends that are working really well. These alcohol markers from Stampin' Up are so lovely. So we're going to go ahead and put that down. And I like how everything coordinates. So we coordinated our blends that we chose with our paper that we chose because we knew it was all going to match, right? So the next thing we need to do is get our butterflies ready. And we have them stamped already, and I really only need 2 butterflies. So I am going to take an array of blends, and I'm going to just blend them. Now, when we have our drawing, which will be very soon, once you win, we will need you to email us at georgia@creativemomentsbygee.com your name and your address so that we can get this sent to you, right? Okay, Can you ever have too many stamp sets, right? I don't think so. And I don't know if you are already a demonstrator, whether it be a hobbyist or a business person, but if you're not, we would love to have you on our team. And you know what? If you haven't bought these and you wanted to buy these stamp sets, there's a really good deal for joining. So just send me an email that you're interested and I'll help you through that process. Okay, you see how I'm blending? I started with my darker color, I went in with a lighter color, and now I'm just going to pull with a much lighter color because I want it to appear like it's highlighted almost. So I'm just going to come in, go over those lines so that they kind of evaporate, and look at that. And that way you can't really see where it starts and where it ends. It just looks like a real butterfly. Butterflies are so colorful, right? So we are just pulling in between those two colors, going over to ease up that line right in the middle. And look at that. Isn't that pretty? Now on this smaller one, I think I'm going to go with the Rococo Rose. And I'm just going to go in the center just a little bit and around the edges just a tiny bit. And then I'm going to go with that lighter color because there's really not much room to blend, but you can still get that highlighted effect. So see that? Oh, that's so pretty. And then we're going to use our punch because our punch makes it so much easier to cut this out, right? And as soon as we get this punched out, then I say, let's have our drawing. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we know that we need to get it right where it needs to be lined up. And you know what? I'm going to show you a trick that I use. I get a little sticky and I put it right there, and that helps me maneuver it, right? Have you tried that? This is a great tip. Use a sticky pad as a handle, and then you can move it much better. Okay, so I'm going to, right there, got it. Okay, so I'm going to take these. We have them right there. Now I need to go ahead and stamp their little bodies, right? So I'm going to put that over there. I'm going to put the little body on first, and I'm going to use the memento. We are just preparing our little butterfly guy. There we go. I'll tell you what, it's easy to lose these little teeny ones, isn't it? Yes, so you have to be really careful and pay attention to where you put them. Now we're going to just put this one, and there we go. Okay. Now we're going to put that to the side. And are you ready for a drawing? Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, let me go to my other laptop, and I have a roulette wheel kind of. It has everyone's name in it, and let me get that to spinning. Here we go. Round and round. Okay, and the winner is Carol B. Bjornson. Carol Bjornson. Oh, Carol, congratulations. You have won Well Dressed. And how appropriate is this? Because Father's Day is coming up. So please take a moment and email me at Georgia Creative Moments by G. Tell me your name, tell me your address, and we will get this in the mail for you. Congratulations. Okay, let's get this on our beautiful card. So, and we are going to put a dimensional right there. I'm going to take the backing off, and we are just going to put it right there. Now I'm going to lift up those wings just a little bit. Look at that. Isn't that coming along? I like that. You know what? I think I may just twist him a little bit like that so that he doesn't cover up the For You at all. So we have that one. And now I think we may put this little guy, maybe we'll put him just sitting, like he could sit right there. And we need to go ahead and put his little antenna on. So those you will be able to see because it's going to go on white paper. So we're just going to hold that down and then lift up, and there we have that. Okay, so we're going to put a little mini dimensional on the back, and there we have it. Okay, now I want to use some little pretty sparkles on our butterfly, right? And sparkle up those wings just a little bit. Now, here is our card on the outside. What do you think? Very quick, but just so elegant, right? Now, we need to stamp our saying on the inside, and I am going to use the Blackberry Bliss. So we are going to just stamp this right in the middle. Hold it for good contact. Okay, look at that font. Isn't that pretty? Now, you know I love those bubbles, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, I think, clean that off, and I think I'll put some Granny Apple Green, and I'll do the purple. Oh, look at that. Get the Granny Apple Green. Oh, look at that on the inside. Isn't that pretty? So we have that. Now we need to make our card, our little note card. And here it is. It's simply 3 by 6, scored at 3. And then this mat is cut a little smaller. So we're going to go ahead and glue that down. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and just add some bubbles. And we're going to add our green bubbles. And we're going to pick up our color, our Blackberry Bliss again, just a note. I'm going to stamp it right there. And then we're going to come in with our little bitty sparkles, and we are going to use Gorgeous Grape. And we're just going to just put some, look at that cute note card. Okay, so here we have it. Now we'll just go ahead and we will put a little sparkle on the inside for our note, and then we're going to show you how you can put this in a gift pack. So there we have it. Now, here's our card. Isn't that lovely? Here's the card we made today. Now, here's the other one. We had a couple more mats on it, a different style, right? Then look at this one. We brought in a completely different color. And this one is from the stamp set. Our friendship isn't one big thing. It's a million little things. Oh, look at that one. And then we also just put a butterfly down here. Now, look at all the adorable note cards that we made. Are those cute? Love to have these on like a little gift. You could punch a hole right there, just put your little message and hang it on a gift, right? Well, look what you can do. You can get one of these containers, and they're all different places. You can buy them at Stampin' Up or different places. And then this is what we're going to do. Here is the card we made today. We are going to load up our cards and simply put them right here into this see-through case. Now we're going to take our note cards and we're going to put them in the back. Of course, we're going to include envelopes with all these, right? And we're just going to shake it to where it's down. So now we have note cards. We have our beautiful cards that you can add. You add a ribbon to this and look at that. Isn't that a beautiful gift? Well, thank you so much for sharing your time with us and making butterflies. Remember, if you're watching the rebroadcast, we look at all the comments and we just appreciate them so much. So if you had a little inspiration from today, if you'd give us a thumbs up, we would so appreciate it. And hey, if you think somebody else might be interested in our channel, if you could share it, that would be icing on the cake, right? This weekend, be safe, be healthy, be creative in your crafting, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.